IIT Madras institution has grown dramatically in the past decade and a half, thanks to the wonderful leadership the institute has been fortunate to have. The sheer complexity, as Professor Bhaskar mentioned, number of students across close to 10,000 now, compared to our times of 3,500 or so. Number of departments have increased to about 16. Several interdisciplinary research centers have come up in the campus. The Research Park initiative, which came in about a decade back, has really grown up to be the model research park, industry, academia, collaboration center. And this institute had mentored 3 other IITs. As he mentioned, IIT Hyderabad was supported by David Koilpillai and C.V.R. Murthy, our own David Koilpillai and C.V.R. Murthy. And IIT Tirupati, of course, our Satya is heading the institution now. This institution also mentored IIT Palgad. So 3 institutes have been mentored by this institute. And our batch, we are quite proud to say that we have 2 directors coming in from our batch and a distinguished alumnus and quite a large number of people who have achieved great heights in industry, academia, and in society. I think we are really proud to have such a wonderful set of batchmates. And for the institution to grow to this stage, Professor Bhaskar has played a phenomenal role in leading this change and improving the direction to the institute from a purely undergrad institution to a research-focused organization. Close to about 2/3 of the students are into master's and PhD programs. That shift has taken place in the past decade or so. Our innovation ecosystem has been acclaimed to be one of the best deep tech innovation ecosystem in the country, and has incubated more than 200 companies, and some of them have gone about growing in valuation and employment opportunities to youngsters. It's all happened to the fabulous leadership this institute had. I think a great credit goes to Professor Bhaskar Ramamurthy. I think we all need to acknowledge that in a big way. Thank you, Professor Bhaskar. The institute also had as an excellent team of deans who take care of the administrative responsibilities beyond the academic load, and many of the deans are also alumni of the institute, and they are able to connect well with the alumni community. And we are also thankful to this group of deans who ensure that the institute grows from strength to strength. Thank you very much. And we have come to the formal portion of the evening program. I really thank Bhaskar and Mahesh for taking time off to spend some time with us and answer our queries. I request them to stay back for the evening program. And we move on to the next agenda on our program, which is supposed to be the jewel in the crown of our reunion. We have with us our own one and only distinguished alumnus, Dr. Kanikeshwaran. And many of you know about him. I thought we also have audience from beyond our batch in this hall. I'll share a few bit of information about him. Kanix and me went together in IIT and did BTech in metallurgy, and he came from IIT Bombay after the first, IIT Kharagpur after the first year, and he was a very keen musician when he came inside. He used to play violin, and in those days, Ilayaraja used to be the star attraction for many of us. He used to keep singing those songs, and we could see the sense of music interest in him as far as 35 years back. And he finished his metallurgy and then went to University of Cincinnati, did his master's there, and then he did his MBA program there. Now he straddles multiple roles in his career. He's got a full-time job as a data scientist for a healthcare business in Cincinnati. And beyond that, his passion has been music. And he has been conducting large choir programs with Indian music systems, assembling large amount of volunteer singers from different parts of the country, and conducting large programs in the US. For the first time, he has experimented this type of choir program in India, and we have the opportunity to listen to him and his troupe in a few minutes' time. And it's all happened in a very, very short time. Kanix was telling me that we had a professor called Kumaraswamy who used to teach us steel making. He used to keep saying that the steel making and iron making is almost like a cooking. And he also said that conducting such programs is like cooking, assembling all the resources together and bring them to the appropriate time to deliver the output. In a very short period of time, he has been able to reach out to a large amount of music volunteers and then train them and then make them ready to perform for the evening. And we are indeed thankful to Kanix for putting so much of effort in the past couple of months to make this program happen. And please put your hands to welcome Kanikeshwaran for the evening program. Yes,
thank you, everyone. Thanks for hosting the program here. So, this is the first time doing something like this on this scale in India, and actually it's pretty small compared to what we have done back there in the United States. Typically, concerts, we did one at the World Tamil Conference recently, the Ulaga Tamil Maanadu. It was called Murasu Tamil Symphony, where which explored Tamil poetry all the way from the Sangam period until now in a symphonic setting. So this production today is titled Chitram, a portrait of India, which attempts to tell the story of India using music, dance, and multimedia. The nice thing about the program is we have one of our batchmates is singing with us, Nataraj, Nati, and one of our juniors, Guha, who sang with me in the very first choir program we had in Cincinnati in 1994, has come back to sing with us here. He's from Cincinnati. He happens to be visiting here, celebrating his 50th birthday. Should be around here. So we were planning on starting at 6:30. So we look forward to sharing this multimedia experience with you. I request the choir to come on stage. Thank you. Please.
श्रीनाथादि गुरुगुहो जयति मानस गुरुगुह रूपं भजरे श्रीगुरुना पालितोऽस्मि श्रीगुरुगुहाय नमस्ते गुरुगुहात् अन्यं न जानेऽहम् श्री गुरुगुहस्य दासोऽहम् गुरुगुहस्वामिनि भक्तिं करोमि हे गुरुगुहमूर्ते जय 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 श्री गुरुगुह दासोऽहम् दासोऽहम्
श्रीगुरुगुहदासोऽहं मनिशं श्रीगुरुगुहदासोऽहम् श्रीगुरुगुहदासोऽहं मनिशं श्रीगुरुगुहदासोऽहम् दासोऽहं सदा सोऽहं दासोऽहं सोऽहं दासोऽहं सदा सोऽहं दासोऽहं सोऽहम् Nida pama gari gaga gaga mada pama gari nirisa pa nida pama gari gaga gaga mada pama gari nirisa gari sari gaga pama gama pa sari dani sa sa mada pama gari sa gari sari gaga pama gama pa sari dani sa sa mada pama gari sa
Heterogeneity is the hallmark of Indian culture. The diversity in linguistic and other forms of expression belies the underlying core of commonality in certain axiomatic beliefs, such as the interconnectedness or even the oneness of all of life, and the fundamental belief in the theory of karma across multiple lives. Yoga today represents India's soft power and is a billion-dollar industry. The global discourse on yoga sometimes disregards the antiquity of this ancient way of life. Patanjali is the author of the Yoga Sutras, or the aphorisms that tweet the yogic way of life in short messages. Ancient narratives hold that Patanjali was one of the 8 disciples of Shiva, along with Tirumular, a Tamil-speaking saint who lived about 1500 years ago. The seeming disparity in culture and language between the various regions of India is bridged by the astounding similarity in certain verses of Tirumular and Patanjali. The Tamil saint speaks in lucid Tamil of the 8 limbs of Ashtanga Yoga and even speaks of yogic poses, the asanas, and the ways of doing them some 1500 years before our time. The yogic way of life that strives to discover the fundamental unity is yet another layer in the portrait of India.
विवृतं जगदात्मना नादब्रह्म तदानन्दम् अद्वितीयम् उपास्महे न नादेन विना गीतम् न नादेन विना स्वरः न नादेन विना नृत्यम् तस्मात् नादात्मकं जगत् चैतन्यं सर्वभूतानां विवृतं जगदात्मना नादब्रह्म तदानन्दम् अद्वितीयम् उपास्महे
If the fundamental beliefs in the interconnectedness, karma, and the practice of yoga help draw the first few strokes in the portrait of India, it is the abundance of ancient narratives that help reinforce this oneness. The perceptive Indian mind places no limits on the ways to imagine and connect to the source of it all, that cosmic energy, that one without a second. Whether it is through the visualization of Shiva as the cosmic dancer, depicting the universe in motion, or through the visualization of the compassionate Mother Devi who sustains and nourishes the universe, or through Krishna whose play represents the joy of living in the present moment, or through the reverence accorded to the sun, or through the pair of opposites, the yin and the yang, visualized as Shiva and Shakti. Ancient narratives provide several means for the individual to connect to the source. The interlinked nature of these narratives forms the basis of the performing arts that link cultures across linguistic borders. This further contributes to the multi-layered hues in the portrait of India.
लम्बोदरं गणनायकं वन्दे गजाननं लम्बोदरं गणनायकं वन्दे गजाननं सारे गरे गरे नि पनि पनि सारे ग पनि पगरे सा सारे गरे गरे नि पनि सरि मा पनि पमरि नि रे सा
शिवशङ्करि गौरी कृपासागरी परमेश्वरि श्रीकरि शिवशङ्करि गौरी कृपासागरी परमेश्वरि श्रीकरि
सानि पमरि पामरि सरि नि रे सा सानि पमरि पामरि सरि नि रे सा सारे ग म ध नि द म ग म रे ग म हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं सदा भजामि
ललितां कमलां श्रीं
हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं सदा भजामि
ललितां कमलां श्रीं शारदे विशारदे वरदे शब्दार्थरूपिणी शारदे विशारदे वरदे शब्दार्थरूपिणी सप्ताश्वरथिने स्वतेजस्विने सहस्रकिरणमने सप्ताश्वरथिने सप्ताश्वरथिने
वन्दे सदाशिवं जगत्कारणं त्रिनयनं मृगधरम्
वृन्दावन सारङ्गेन्द्रवरद अरविन्दनयन मुकुन्द गोविन्द वन्दे वन्दे तां तदीं तधिर नदीं तधीरनना तां तधीं तधिर नदीं तधीरनना ததீம் ததிர நதீம் தீரனனா தாம் ததீம் ததிர நதீம் ததீரனனா
மறுபுறம் மின்னல் இடையுடை மலைமகள் மங்கையர் நாயகி நாம் மறையாள் ஒரு புறம் நாகமும் கங்கையும் பனிமதி சந்திர பிறையுடன் தோன்றிடுவான் மறுபுறம் மின்னல் இடையுடை மலைமகள் மங்கையர் நாயகி நாம் மறையாள்
தாம் ததீம் தன தீரனனா தாம் ததீம் தன தீரனனா ஆ தாம் ததீம் தன தீரனனா தாம் ததீம் தன தீரனனா
தாம் ததன தீரனா தாம் தஜம் தாம் ததன தீரனா
தாம் ததீம் ததானி தானி தாம் ததீம் ததானி தானி 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 ததரி தானி தனதிரனா
தோன்றிடுவான் மறுபுறம் மின்னல் இடையுடை மலைமகள் மங்கையர் நாயகி நாம் மறையாள்
தாம் ததீம் ததிர நதீம் ததீரனனா தாம் ததீம் ததிர நதீம் ததீரனனா தாம் ததீம் ததிர நதீம் ததீரனனா
Storytelling is an ancient Indian art. With dozens of languages and hundreds of dialects, and with a rich base layer of ancient narratives, the Puranas, the Indian mind has expressed its genius in telling and retelling variations of these stories in countless ways. These stories reveal the unbelievable connections that exist within the layers of Indian culture. The bard Jaidev in the eastern shores of India writes in Sanskrit of the love between Radha and Krishna in the gardens of Vrindavan in the distant Vrajadesh, and these hymns echo today in the distant south in Guruvayur. The Shringara Rasa or romance in the stories of Krishna makes its way even into the imaginative khayals of Hindustani music and to the egalitarian kirtan renditions. The Indian epics Mahabharata and the Ramayana are popular in the distant Far East. The Tamil epic of the post-Sangam period, Silappatikaram, while narrating the story of the Tamil land from 2000 years ago, also speaks of the heroic deeds of Rama and Krishna. The Aichiyar Kuravai in Silappatikaram is a remarkable blend of folk culture and ancient Indian narratives, Puranas, where the story of the 10 avatars of Vishnu merges with the folk dance of the cowherd women in a symbolism invoking the 12 zodiac signs, all in one masterstroke, bringing together folk traditions, poetry, religion, the Puranas, and astronomy.
கேளாத செவி என்ன वनमाली विरहे 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 तव विरहे सीदति वनमाली सीदति वनमाली विरहे सीदति वनमाली विरहे 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 तव विरहे सीदति वनमाली सीदति वनमाली सीदति वनमाली सीदति वनमाली படவரையை மத்தாக்கி வாசுகியை நாடாக்கி படவரையை மத்தாக்கி வாசுகியை நாடாக்கி கடல் வண்ணன் பண்டொரு நாள் கடல் வயிறை கலக்கினையே படவரையை மத்தாக்கி வாசுகியை நாடாக்கி கடல் வண்ணன் பண்டொரு நாள் கடல் வயிறை கலக்கினையே கலக்கிய கை யசோதையார் கடை கயிற்றால் கட்டும் கை கலக்கிய கை யசோதையார் கடை கயிற்றால் கட்டும் கை மலர்கமல உந்தியாய் மாயமோ மறுக்கைதே மாயமோ மறுக்கைதே மாயமோ மறுக்கைதே மாயமோ மறுக்கைதே
Stories local to a geographic location, especially a sacred site, are referred to as Thala Puranas. The architecture, murals, and sculpture in sacred spaces help bring the ancient local narratives to life using the medium of visual art, while the festival traditions keep the performing arts alive across generations. Temples have been organic centers of art and community life for millennia, and their local narratives hold important clues to migrations and cultural exchanges across space and time. Many of these temples are engineering marvels, and the construction methodologies used in their creation baffles the human mind even today. It is exciting to imagine oneself 1,000 years ago when the Choras in Tamil Nadu, the Chandelas in central India, the Solankis in Gujarat, the Gangas in Orissa gave birth concurrently to stunning architectural masterpieces that dot the landscape today. The festival traditions draw upon the participation of surrounding communities in an egalitarian effort directed towards a common goal. The temple art of India, the epics Ramayana and the Mahabharata, the Tamil hymns, musical scales, and the ancient narratives migrated with Indian expeditions to the Far East, to faraway places such as Cambodia.
அகல சேடனாராட அகிலமேருமீதாட அபின காளிதானாட அவளோடு அன்று அதிர வீசிவாதாடும் விடையலேறிவாராட் அருகு பூத வேதாளமுவையாட மதுரவாணி தானாட மலரில் வேதனாராட மருவவானுளோராட மதியாட மதுரவாணி தானாட மலரில் வேதனாராட மருகுவானுளோராட மதியாட வனஜமாமியாராட நெடிய மாமனாராட மயிலுமாடி நீ ஆடி வரவேணும் வனஜமாமியாராட நெடிய மாமனாராட மயிலுமாடி நீ ஆடி வரவேணும் 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 கதை விடாத தோல்வி மன் எதிர்கொள்வாளியார் நீடு கருதலார்கள் மாசேனை போலியாக கதறு காலி போய் மீள விஜய நேரு தேர்மீர் கனக வேத கோடுதி அலை மோதும் உததி மீதிலே சாயும் உலகமூடு சீர்பாத உவனமூர்த்தி மாமாயன் மருகோனே உதயதாமமார்வான பிரபுட தேவ மகாராஜ் உளமுமாடவாழ் தேவர் பெருமாளே உதயதாமமார்வான பிரபுட தேவ மகாராஜ் உளமுமாடவாழ் தேவன் பெருமாளே பெருமாளே பெருமாளே.
The strength of a culture, a people, lies in their ability to be open to ideas from everywhere, the ability to integrate these ideas and create something new and uniquely their own. It was only during the 5th millennium of Indian civilization that India came under the influence of conquests from the Middle East and Persia, and Indian culture adapted remarkably to this arrival. In retrospect, India of this period appears to be a crucible for a remarkable synthesis of ideas. Indo-Islamic architecture integrates indigenous Indian art with Islamic influences and creates imagery with which India is known to the world. Indian food, as it is largely known outside of India, is yet another aspect that reflects this confluence. Indo-Islamic architecture further served as the basis for the Indo-Saracenic style that characterizes much of India's 19th century architectural masterpieces. Another major product of the past millennium is the hybrid style of modern Indian art music that merges the best of India's raga tradition and the spiritual core of Indian music with the free flow of the influencing traditions. The well-known Kathak dance form and the Tarana represent a brilliant adaptation of indigenous music and dance forms to an emerging royalty in the 5th millennium of Indian history.
ததியன தோம் தன திரன ததியன ததியன தோம் தன திரன ததியன ததியன தோம் நித மக மக நித நித மக மக நித நித மக மக நித நித மக மக ஓம் தன திரன ததியன ததியன ஓம் தன திரன ததியன ததியன ஓம் தன திரன ததியன ததியன நிச நித மா பதனி சரி க மகனி சரி நி சதனி பத மத சரி க ம பத சரி க ம பத ஓம் தன திரன ததியன ததியன ஓம் தன திரன ததியன ததியன ஓம் தன திரன ததியன ததியன भावरागताल संगमं भरतामृतम् भावरागताल संगमं भरतं सुधामृतम् भावरागताल संगमं भरतं सुख सुधामृतम् भावरागताल संगमं भरतं सुधामृतं सुख सुधामृतम् भावरागताल संगमं भरतं सुधामृतं सुख सुधामृतं स्वरलय सहित मधुर वचन निरत स्वरलय सहित मधुर वचन निरत अधिदुरित चलित चतुरंगम भावरागताल संगमं भरतं सुधामृतं सुख सुधामृतं स्वरलय सहित मधुर वचन निरत अधिदुरित चलित चतुरंगम सनिधवनि नि निधवमदा गम म पद पद नि द नि सा तोम तरणो 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 pa 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 ma 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 da 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 pa 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 ni 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 da 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 sa 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 da 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 pa 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 ma 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 da 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 pa 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 ni 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 da 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 sa 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 da ri da ri da ri da ri da pa 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 ma 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 da 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 pa 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 ni 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 da 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 sa 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 da 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 re tu da re tu da di ana ta da re tu da re tu da di ana ta da re tu da re tu da di ana ta om tanadiyana tadiyana tadiyana om tanadiyana tadiyana tadiyana om tanadiyana tadiyana tadiyana
The last 300 years of India's 5,000-year-old cultural history is a period that shows the influence of the Industrial Revolution, the British rule, and the English language. Amidst the woes of colonization, the Indian spirit absorbed the best of Western education and industrialization and continued to shine. It was during this period that India exhibited its spirit of inclusiveness in all its splendor again. We turn our attention to a largely unknown slice of cultural history that revolves around a visionary composer by name Muthuswami Dikshita, a genius, a composer who was rooted in the millennia-old raga tradition of India. The time period was the late 1700s. British colonization of India was unstoppable. Accompanying the East India Company were the British armies and bands that played their music. Dikshita heard the Celtic and other folk music tunes played by the company's bands and created a new genre of music in an unprecedented manner that was neither Indian nor European. Known as Notaswara Sahityas, these tunes have Sanskrit lyrics and a playful folk quality to them that makes them very accessible to children. These compositions are magical. The creativity behind these is amazing, and it represents a sense of inclusiveness with which the master composer treated alien forms of music. Not one, but 39 songs came into being, thus bringing to life a delectable repertoire of universal songs for children. Even in the face of wars and political instability and the wave of colonization, the tunes transformed into lovely poetry, something uniquely Indian and special, in the hands of one of India's foremost authorities of Raga Vidya, Muthuswami Dikshita. Is neither Indian nor Celtic, and it is both. This evokes a sense of vismaya or wonderment. Relatively little is known about this cultural phenomenon, but it is very relevant to today's world. Why? Today, we live in a globalized world. Distances have shrunk. Advances in technology have brought people closer than ever before. It is very clear that there is a need for broader cultural understanding in this era. And the model of inclusiveness illustrated by Dikshita, when he heard European tunes and composed chaste Sanskrit lyrics to them, stands out as a brilliant cultural innovation.
Let us now turn our attention to the post-colonial period. Having lived through about 2 centuries of British colonization, India went through the euphoria of liberation. The spirit of inclusiveness that is inherent in Indian culture has not wavered through the course of its history. Even in today's information age, India continues to absorb the best of the rest of the world, retaining its core values and ideas, and creating something totally new and uniquely Indian in the process. What is the India that the Greek ethnographer Megasthenes portrayed over 2200 years ago? Or the India that Al-Biruni portrayed 1000 years ago? What is the India that Christopher Columbus set out looking for? What is the India that the East India Company sought to trade with? How does the world portray India? What is the India that we seek to portray ourselves as? What is India? The wonder that is India is a stunning portrait of diversity, a collection of 1 billion people of diverse faiths, colors, languages, lifestyles, ideas, a landscape where the past coexists with the present in all its grandeur, both physically and metaphorically. A stellar diaspora leading the world in the knowledge-based paradigm of today. A world with stunning contrasts between colossal wealth on one hand and abysmal material poverty on the other. A world that demonstrates leadership in technology and innovation in managing a sea of humanity on one hand, and effortlessly dealing with the idea of renunciation or sannyasa on the other. A portrait of contrasts. Vichitra Chitram. We bow to the core of oneness that manifests itself as the stunning world of diversity. As our journey through time and space comes to an end at this time and in this space. Our children are leaders and torchbearers of tomorrow. They are global citizens born into a knowledge-based economy. It is our belief that our children would transcend the cultural differences and usher in a new era of global understanding and well-being. We salute this new world of tomorrow, Nava Bharatam, where the collective well-being of humanity becomes a common goal of all, in the same spirit as ideas that were in circulation 5,000 years ago. Samano mantra, samitihi samani. Common be our prayers, common be our hopes and aspirations. May we walk together in peace and happiness.
பிரம்மாண்ட விண்வெளியில் தானொரு துகளென தன்னிலை உணர்ந்து பல யுகங்களினூடே வாழ்க்கை சில மணி துளி எனவே அறிந்து பிரம்மாண்ட விண்வெளியில் தானொரு துகளென தன்னிலை உணர்ந்து பல யுகங்களினூடே வாழ்க்கை சில மணி துளி எனவே அறிந்து ஏகம் சத்யம் மார்க்கம் சதம் என சதமதம் விளங்கும் பாரதம் அஞான மகள மெய்ஞான விஞ்ஞான வழியில் விளங்கும் நாகரீகம் பல குரல்களில் பல நிறங்களில் பன்மொழி பேசி பரிந்துரையாடி ஸ்வதேசோ புவனத்ரயம் என விளங்கிடும் பாரதம் வந்தே 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 வந்தே.
நாதிருததீம் தோந்திரதீம் ததீரனனா சனிதவ மகரித நாதிருததீம் தோந்திரதீம் ததீரனனா ஆ சரி சரே சரி மகரே ரிப்ப மப மபனினிசா சானிதவ மகரிசா ரி சானிதவ மகரிசா
ri sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa ni da ri sa re ma pa ni da pa tadim 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 tom takatom dinatom takatom dinatom dom dana 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 dom darigida dom dana dom dana dom dana dom darigida dom dana dom dana dom dana dom
विचित्रं विचित्रं सुंदर मनमोहनकर सुंदर मनमोहनकर सुंदर मनमोहनकर सुंदर मनमोहनकर चित्रं विचित्रं विचित्रं चित्रं विचित्रं विचित्रं सुंदर मनमोहनकर सुंदर मनमोहनकर सुंदर मनमोहनकर सुंदर मनमोहनकर चित्रं विचित्रं 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 चित्रं विचित्रं 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 चित्रं विचित्रं 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 चित्रं विचित्रं विचित्रं विचित्रं
all for the wonderful response to the program. We meant to announce, we wanted to pass out a brochure. We could probably do it on the way out. Then we'd like to have a short Q&A session. So if you have any questions about the production or the process or your thoughts, this is a great time to share some thoughts with all of you. Yeah.
I think, friends, it's been a stupendous performance by the entire reserve audience. Requires a standing ovation to all of us. Thank you, every one of you. Great performance of the Traveling Track. It's really interesting to note that Kalix has not met them face to face just about 3 days before. On Sunday morning he lands and starts interacting with them in a personal capacity and then creates this complex program with so many artists coming together, seamlessly producing this wonderful program. Indeed, a genius athlete. Thank you, Kalix. Thank you, every one of us. How such a complex program is possible through a remote arrangement? I think Kalix can share some of the insights about how he is able to put this complex program very well for us.
Thank you. You've been a wonderful audience because I think the subject matter is such that it touches something deep inside us, especially when we perform Chitram to a non-resident Indian audience. We always follow a lump in the throat, especially when we go through the Desh Raga part. I don't know if we were able to create the same response here or not, but Subra talked to me, Subra and Ramki talked to me about creating something like this. Actually, Gadi was the first one to talk to me about a year back. Why don't you create something for a reunion similar to what you do there? And it was a daunting task in the sense, hey, how do you make it happen halfway around the world? We've done similar stuff in Europe, but then we had organized dance companies that were working for us to actually make it happen. But how do you string it and literally pull people out of nowhere and make it happen? But then all these wonderful people emerged out of nowhere. First, Subra connected with me with a coordinator on campus, Rahul Sundar. Irkya, are you here? Rahul, are you here? So he connected me with a few people on campus, and he did the painful task of auditioning people. And so we don't do face-to-face auditions as they can be intimidating. We just do voice memos. That's it. Anybody can audition. And then that's how we selected a few people. And then I reached out to some of my choir singers in the US who reached out to their cousins and other family members to see if they would be interested in singing. And that's how we got in touch with Banu here. Banu. And she brought a few more people. She got us in touch with Nagarajan, who's part of the Madras Youth Choir, and I'm an honorary member of the Madras Youth Choir, and I've worked with them in the past before. So I reached out to Leela, who had met during the Pan IIT 2008, because Natarajan is a graduate, which year?
77. Okay, so all these connections exist. So she brought in like about 9 people. I mean, together between her and Ram Shankar, also from the Madras Youth Choir, they got a lot of people. So we have people that are aged 17 through 70 in this group. So, yeah. 7 70 So, yeah, to quote a Rajinikanth movie. And then I reached out to Narendra Kumar, whom I had worked with back in 1998. And the person that introduced me to him was the mother of Srikanth, who was the AAS during my time. 1 batch senior to us. Hema Rajan, avanga da introduce pannanga. So that's how I got in touch with Narendra, and he brought this wonderful group of dancers. So one thing led to another, and then Guha, of course. Guha, 91, right? 91, then Yamunava. Godav, yeah. So he was my junior in the University of Cincinnati, and when I had my very first choir program in 1994, he was literally instrumental in producing it. It was called Basant, a celebration of spring. So I can, without hesitation, say that if Guha had not stood for that in 1994, we will not be standing here. He will not be standing here. So, Guha just celebrated his 60th birthday, right? 50th, okay.
Yeah, so that's why he's here. So I said, what up? Then he said, my wife scolded me. She said, "Idhukku ellarum pidichu ilukkara appadina illa avan varuvan." So then he came. I'm so happy he came. So then everyone. So then this Pramath, you are 17, right? And you're standing right next to Rangachari uncle who's 70. So see, so that's how. And then we started rehearsing on Google Hangouts, which would not have a limit of, which had a limit of only 10 people at a time. So we had to break it down into 2 rehearsals. I would teach a group of 10 people first, and then another group of 10 people. And my kids were wondering what was going on. Why is he doing the same song over and over again? But these are very bright people, so we very, very quickly picked up, and they listen, they follow instructions. I mean, one of the most important things in singing in a choir is the ability to listen to others and to follow instructions. And the soloist, Savita is her husband Sai Shravanam is a good friend of mine, and he has recorded a few projects for me, and I ran into her voice, and I was blown away by it. So I said, "Ni paadano?" Then she said, "Of course, yes." Same with Mayur, who had sung in my recording last year. And Ram, of course, from the Madras Youth Choir, who took a lot of took a lot of ownership in organizing separate rehearsals and all kinds of other things and all that. So thank you, Ram. So, and hope, and Ellarayum would have, mostly it is Subra who stood for the whole thing. Like, you know, if you had not, this would not have happened. So, and more than anything else, 15 years ago when I wrote this production called Shanti, why did I write it? See, I was really mad at the way India was portrayed out in the West. This is not the India that I know. And this is not what when I read about stuff on the newspapers, or when I see shows where India is portrayed a certain way. So one thing I said was, okay, there's no point complaining about it. Why don't we start showing what India really is? Using music, dance, multimedia, and other means. And that's how Shanti, A Journey of Peace, happened with a cast of about 250 people. And we've done it in so many different cities. And then when Wright State University wanted a smaller version of Shanti or Shanti Light, that's when Chitram was born. And that happened, that was in 2005. And now we are delighted to do it 15 years later here on campus. And I hope that with the energy generated out of this, we can take it to a few more campuses here in Madras and in other places, and probably do it again here on campus if possible, with a larger cast of singers and all that. So that's a long story. So any particular questions, I'm happy to answer them. And yeah, sure, no problem.
Thank you very much, Kanix. I think I learned a new dimension about you today. The first time I'm really here watching your program in live. And there will not be the there will be the beginning of a new era in India. I'm looking forward to more such programs in India from you. Thank you very much. And I'd like to honor the artist with a small memento or appreciation, a small appreciation request, Professor Mahesh, to give the Diamond Jubilee pen to all the artists.
அவர் அக்னாலேஜ் பண்ணுவாங்க,
ஃபில் பண்ணலாம். அவங்க 2 பேரும் பாடணும் இல்லையா? அவங்க 2 பேரும்.
Yeah. So he is referred to as a singing violinist because he literally sings with a violin. So he's played with M.S. Viswanathan, A.R. Rahman, and a lot of other people, Ilayaraja, and a lot of other people, and he's a composer in his own right, and he literally speaks and sings with his fingers. So we are delighted, honored to have him play with us. Thank you.
Sarana, momento. We have been quite happy to present him a small picture of Muthuswami Dikshidhar.